With your communications hosted in the cloud, your people can be working anywhere and get the tools they need to handle any kind of communication. But the same is also true for your business as a whole. For starters, with Avaya Cloud Office, you now have an Auto Attendant to handle calls 24/7. No more losing business because it's after hours.
Hello, you've reached KR Industries. Our offices are closed.
You can give your callers the option to route themselves to the right department.
Press 1 for sales, 2 for service, 3 if you
Or
need
use an employee directory to easily get to a specific person.
To reach one of our associates, simply spell the last name of the person you're trying to reach.
You can play music or messages on hold and update them anytime. And customize your call routing just the way you want. Calls to the sales department might ring each sales rep one by one. Service calls might ring all phones simultaneously. You decide. Set up call recording so you can confirm the details of that latest order. Listen in on sales calls and have supervisors provide advice using the whisper feature. And you can make any programming changes you need to make from virtually any location. Your people get the tools they need, and so does your business. Want to learn more? Talk to Avaya. Let us show you what Avaya Cloud Office can do for you.
Good morning. My name is Michael Latshaw, and I'm the marketing manager here at CTI. I'd like to welcome you all to our webinar on the Cloud Made Simple, How to Unlock the Power of Cloud Now for Your Business Communications, which is a co-presentation between Consolidated Technologies, Inc., Avaya, and RingCentral. So to get us started, I'll turn the presentation over to CTI's Chief Customer Officer, Ben Schoolsky. Ben?
Thank you, Michael, and welcome everyone to our webinar today. We appreciate you taking the time to join us. Let me first tell you a little bit about your hosts, myself, Ben Schoolsky from CTI, Chief Customer Officer, and Steve Forcum from Avaya. Steve and I have both been in this business for many years, serving customers from all angles of the business, from the end user to the system administrator through the executive boardroom. What we are focused on are providing solutions that are going to solve business pain. And that's what we've done to be successful in our careers. CTI has been in business for about 25 years, since 1997. We've been protecting, partnering, and growing with our customers through that time. And the way we do that is by selecting best-in-breed services, solutions, and products to manage all aspects of our customer business, from the telephone to the desktop, and everything from the outside to the inside. CTI is a pioneer in the UCaaS cloud space. Back in 2006, we built and operated our own hosted BroadSoft solution and built out a network to support our customers' requirements. We got out of that business directly as a provider in 2011 to focus in on the desktop and partner with the market-leading providers in the space. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Steve Forcum of Avaya to continue the rest of our webinar.
Thanks, Ben. My name is Steve Forcum, and I'm a technologist with Avaya. I'd like to thank my friends from CTI for inviting me to join today's webinar, and I'd like to thank you for coming to learn more about Avaya Cloud Office by RingCentral. We really do think this is a solution that's unlike anything that's come before it in the market before. But before we start today's webinar, I'd like to just cover a couple of quick housekeeping items with you. First, if you haven't already, go ahead and maximize that viewing window. You're going to want to see everything that we have to share. Second, if you have any technical issues whatsoever on the bridge, go ahead and hit that question mark icon. That's where you'll find technical support. Third, make sure you visit the resources portal. You can get a batch of content to take with you from today's webinar. And last, if you have any questions now or throughout today's webinar, go ahead and submit those through the questions portal. We have a team from CTI who will be answering questions as they come in, and we'll gather a batch of them to answer live at the end of the webinar. Now, let's talk about Avaya Cloud Office by RingCentral. In today's digital workforce, there is one problem that stands apart from all others when it comes to productivity: tool overload. We just have too many tools that get in the way of getting anything done. And one tool in particular is a challenge, and that tool is email. Email is just how we all communicate today, because it's easy. Every user has a single email address, and it synchronizes on all of the devices we use. You can read your emails on your cell phone, your tablet, or your computer. When you send an email, the person receiving it has no idea what device or devices were used to compose it. Email is easy. Too easy. Email is a victim of its own success because we're all dealing with inboxes that are just stuffed to the gills. Email is the butt of jokes. Stop me if you've heard this one. This chain should have been a phone call because it would have been easier. Well, if it would have been easier to pick up the phone, why did we sit there typing up responses? Well, the answer to that question lies in the fact that while email is easy, calling somebody has not been that easy. Every device that we use has its own phone number and its own set of capabilities. Years ago, we tried to fix this with mobility apps on your phone system. One number reach. Call me on this number and it's going to ring on my desk phone and my cell phone at the same time. We are so proud of this feature, we took our cell phone numbers off of our business cards. We deleted it from our email signatures. But like a New Year's resolution that you eventually give up on, our cell phone numbers crept back into the discussion. We started giving them to people again. And the reason we did that was because while you could call me with one number, I do more than just make phone calls. What if I wanted to let you text me? Well, I had to give you my cell phone number. Once you have my cell phone number, it's easy for you. You just never call me in the office anymore because you don't know if I'm there or not, but you know I always have my cell phone within arm's reach. So for you, it's easy, but for me, it's not so great. When I'm sitting in my office with a desk phone and a headset, I'm spending hours with my cell phone stuck to the side of my face. If you've talked on your cell phone for any prolonged period of time, you know this is not a pleasant experience. Talk on your cell phone for more than 5 minutes. You're going to see it gets hot as lava. And one of the biggest benefits of a cell phone is the fact that you can take it with you when you get on the go. Except you can't if you need to leave it behind because it's plugged into the wall charging because you used it all day while you were sitting at your desk. So to solve this issue, with Avaya Cloud Office, we want to make calling somebody as easy as emailing them. Every user has a single email address that synchronizes on all of their devices. And with Avaya Cloud Office, every user has a single phone number that synchronizes on all of their devices. To ensure that you never have to give out your cell phone number again, we need to think bigger than just making phone calls. With Avaya Cloud Office, you'll be able to make and receive unlimited phone calls with your business phone number, but you'll also be able to send and receive unlimited faxes and text messages from that number as well. This improves the integrity of one number reach. One number synchronized on all of your devices, no matter where you happen to be, no matter what network happens to be available, no matter how you want to communicate. And just like with calling, you can start a discussion on one device and then pick it up mid-conversation from another device. So if you're on the go and you start texting someone from the Avaya app on your cell phone, when you get back to the office, you can pick that discussion up with a full keyboard in front of you, and the person on the other end thinks that you're just really fast at typing on your cell phone. One number reach is just one ingredient in taking the work out of getting work done. To truly increase productivity, we need to turn apps into features, and I'm talking about video meetings. Video meetings, because they were so expensive, were only given to certain people. Everybody else had to share. And in today's workforce, that just doesn't work. Could you imagine sharing your cell phone with another user in your organization? Of course not. It makes no sense. And in today's workforce, a meeting bridge is no different than a computer or a cell phone. Everybody needs their own. But with Avaya Cloud Office, we not only give people the tools that they need, but we also do it in a cost-effective way. By turning an app into a feature that everyone has access to, it increases productivity while decreasing cost. Every user will have their own video meeting bridge. They can invite up to 200 parties to meet them in high definition. You'll be able to see 16 parties on screen at once. And you'll be able to share your desktop or a specific app on your computer with everybody that's on the bridge. But meetings are so much more than just seeing and sharing. What about those folks who couldn't attend in real time? How do we make sure that they're on the same page when we meet next time? Well, with Avaya Cloud Office, they can catch up by watching an on-demand replay because you can record your meetings and make the recordings available in the same tool. But if they don't have time to watch a 30 or 60-minute video, they can catch up by reading the Cliff Notes. Because during the meeting, users can take notes inside of the same tool and distribute those among the team as well. So however you catch up, everybody's on the same page. During meetings, people frequently ask to get copies of files. And for me, this can be a really painful work process. When people ask for a copy of my slide deck, I have to go find it on my hard drive, I have to check the file size, and 9 times out of 10 it's too big to go through email because I use high-res images. So then I have to go to Dropbox, I have to upload the file to Dropbox, I've got to wait for it to finish uploading, I've got to copy a share link, then I've got to go back to my email. Ugh, I am just exhausted describing it, never mind doing it. And with Avaya Cloud Office, I don't have to. I can simply upload the file into the same tool where we're seeing and sharing. So this way I can distribute all of the content to the users on the team. And during meetings, how many times have you heard somebody say, "I'll get back to you"? I don't know the answer to that. I'll get back to you. The get back to you is get forgotten about as soon as the bridge disconnects. It's nobody's fault. We just don't track these things unless you're using Avaya Cloud Office, because inside of this same tool, you can track those follow-up items as well. So this way your next meeting picks up where the last one left off. Everybody's on the same page. You can review the meeting minutes from the past meeting. You can check the status of those outstanding tasks, and then you can move on to new business. By putting calling, messaging, and meetings into a single app and a single subscription, we really do take the work out of getting work done. But the story doesn't end there. This solution is extremely easy for your end users, but it's even easier for your administrators in IT. Managing on-premise systems is really complicated stuff. You have to go away for training to learn a special programming language that you're going to use in special software that you installed on your computer. With Avaya Cloud Office, managing your organization's communications needs is as easy as online banking. You simply launch a browser, visit a portal, and log in. From that top page, you can make changes to your entire organization. You can change call queues. You can modify auto attendants. You can even add users and phone numbers in a matter of minutes. And if you don't know how to do something, you don't have to go away for training. Simply visit the tutorial gallery, watch a short video, and it's like you've been jacked into the matrix. You now know how to program that feature. And just like your users are on the go leveraging a batch of different devices from different locations, administrators have that same need. And in today's world, when an urgent request comes in and you're away from your desk, you have to tell that person, "I'll do this as soon as I'm in front of a computer." With Avaya Cloud Office, all you have to do is open up the app on whatever device happens to be handy, make the change, and go on with whatever you were doing. It's super, super easy to manage this solution. It's also super easy to troubleshoot issues as they arise. Over the years, we've been conditioned. If you want to deliver high-quality audio and video experiences, that means you need managed networks with separated VLANs, quality of service tags, MPLS, and in cloud, all you need is encrypted traffic going over the public internet. What happens when something goes wrong? How do we troubleshoot those issues? Well, troubleshooting those issues usually falls to our friends on the help desk. And these guys are heroes, because typically they have to deal with problems that have happened, not problems that are happening. And unless you equip them with a DeLorean, that can be a bit of a challenge. Well, with Avaya Cloud Office, we include a time machine with every subscription. and that time machine comes in the form of analytics. When somebody reports a bad experience, you can start investigating. You can round up the usual suspects, and that means network performance. Was there packet loss? Was there jitter? Was it on the upload side? Was it on the download side? You'll see all of that. But in a world where we're using devices like our computers, our cell phones, and our tablets to make calls and join meetings, sometimes the villain of the story is the device, not the network. And with the Avaya Cloud Office Analytics, you're going to see all of this information. So you'll see the network conditions during the call. You'll see if there was packet loss or jitter and on what leg. But you'll also see device performance information, the device that was used to join the meeting or to make the call, the operating system and patches that have been installed, the network connection that was in use, who the ISP was, what the processor and memory utilizations were during that phone call. So this way, when Bob from Accounts Payable calls into the help desk to report a bad experience and the network looks clean, the help desk can see, Bob, your processor was maxed out. How many tabs did you have open in Chrome? You've got to close some of those. All of the tools that you need to troubleshoot issues included at no extra cost. And just like all of our other solutions, this too is available in the app on the device of your choice. We put calling, messaging, and meetings into a single app to drive simplicity. We integrated the administration interface to give you this ease of management no matter where you happen to be, no matter what device happens to be available. But in order to truly take the work out of getting work done for your users, we also integrate with the rest of the tools that they have in their toolbox. So if you're using Salesforce to create outstanding customer experiences, we can integrate directly into it. But if you're using ServiceNow, Zendesk, Zoho, or any other major CRM platform, well, we integrate with those too. If you're using Office 365, we've got a great feature that connects to your calendar to give you one click to join video meetings. But we do the same if you're using G Suite from Google. In fact, we integrate with every major application on the market today, including Slack and Microsoft Teams. So we can integrate into your user's workflow, but if there's an app that we haven't already built an integration for, you can leverage our free API toolkit to build it yourself, or you can contract with Avaya Professional Services and we'll build it for you. Cloud solutions are better for your business because they work the way you do. Unlike on-premise systems where you had to buy extra licenses for users you didn't have yet, cloud-based solutions allow you to only pay for what you actually use. So if you have 100 users, you pay for 100 users. When you need the 101st, you simply add them and then start paying for them. So no extra money spent up front, no extra maintenance costs along the way. And this leads to another benefit of cloud. Instead of paying for maintenance and upgrades, everything's just bundled into an easy per user per month subscription. Unlike most products, where the first day is the best day, cloud solutions actually only get better over time. When you buy a brand new car, when you drive it off the lot, it's only downhill from there. The new car smell fades, dust gets all over the armor-all tires, the kids leave wrappers and toys all over the car. The first day is the best day with most products that you buy. But with cloud solutions, the first day is the worst day. As awesome as this service is, it's only going to get better over time because you're going to get 4 feature upgrades every year, 1 major software release every year, and any security vulnerabilities that are discovered along the way will be patched immediately. So no more playing tug of war for upgrade budgets every year. You're always current, and you don't have any extra costs like maintenance contracts to deal with. This is really where this solution stands apart from others in the industry. Unlike other cloud solutions that have a single vendor trying to enhance their product, when you choose Avaya Cloud Office, you're getting double the innovation. RingCentral is working on some really incredible features for the underlying platform, and Avaya is building on top of that. We're bringing over our most popular devices to the RingCentral platform, including our J-Series desk phones, our B-Series conference devices, and our CU360 huddle room camera. But what makes those devices really powerful is the features that run on them, and those are coming as well. So we are currently bringing our most popular features from our on-premise systems to Avaya Cloud Office, including Call Park and Page, bridged appearances, and the visual voicemail interface for your J-Series desk phones. This means your users will have a consistent experience when they move from on-premise to cloud. Speaking of that transition, we want to make that smooth as silk, and we do that in two ways. First, we leverage automation. Our migration toolkits will extract data from your on-premise systems and upload that into the cloud as the starting point for us building your solution. Second, we further minimize, if not eliminate, the business risk of that transition through the use of experience. Our client success teams know where you're coming from and they know where you're going. So unlike other solutions where it's on you to explain to somebody that's in a call center, Lord knows where, what happens when a user presses a button, uses a feature, or dials a phone number, you don't have to explain to us how your business works. We know how your system is built, so we can make sure that nothing gets lost in translation during the migration. We make go lives a non-event. And after go live, this is really where you tap into the power of our partnership with RingCentral. Unlike other solutions where you're a customer of one queued up waiting for help, when you have an issue, you contact Avaya's award-winning customer service organization. We'll troubleshoot the issue for you, and if it needs to be escalated to our partners at RingCentral, we do that on your behalf. You're taking advantage of a $500 million partnership between two industry leaders. Instead of waiting for service as a customer of one, your ticket will get the escalation, visibility, and response that it deserves. We really are building a solution that's unlike anything that's come before it in the market before. Now, instead of continuing to talk about it, what I'd like to do is show it to you. Now, I know you've been submitting questions as we've gone along. Keep pumping those in through that questions and answer portal. We're trying to answer them as they come in, but we will grab the most popular questions and answer them live at the end of this webinar. Managing on-premise phone systems can be a real bear. You've got to go away for training, to learn a new programming language. You've got to install special software on your computer. With Avaya Cloud Office, it's as easy as your online banking. All you have to do is launch a browser and log in. From here, I can manage my entire organization. I can modify call queues and remove users. I can change my auto attendants. I can even add users and phone numbers in a matter of minutes. And if there's something that I don't know how to do, I can just come down here to tutorials, click on a link, watch a short video, and now it's like I've been jacked into the matrix. I'm an expert at setting up call forwarding. So let's show you how easy it is to add users to the system. I've got a brand new user that I need to add in the Boston location. So I'm going to come under users. I'm going to add a new user and a new phone number for this user. So the first step is to set their phone number up. So I'm going to choose a domestic user. I'm going to add one user in the state of Massachusetts with an area code based in Boston. And I need a new number for this user. Now I'm going to choose a device that I'm going to assign for this user. So I could choose any of the Avaya series desk phones. If this was a conference room user, I could choose the B199 conference phone. Or if this was an analog device like a fax machine, I could choose an analog adapter. Now I can either buy these devices outright or I could rent them. And if I choose a device for this user, it will be pre-configured in our distribution centers. So this way when you get it, you just plug it in and it works. Now for this demo, this user isn't going to use a desk phone. They're just going to use their computer to make and receive calls. So I click on Other Phones, I choose the desktop app, hit Select, and hit Add. So I'm going to move on to the next step, shipping information. So if I had chosen a desk phone, I can choose where I want that device shipped. I could have it shipped to the office, or I could have it shipped directly to the end user. Since there's no hardware on this order, I'm going to get an error message, but that's okay. I can skip through it, and now I move on to the last step, a confirmation about the change that I'm about to make to my account. I'm adding a new user, and I can see the monthly recurring rate for that. I can see the prorated adjustment. We're very friendly to your friends in accounts payable. We only bill once a month. I can see the taxes and fees. Uncle Sam gets there a little bit. And if everything looks good, and it does, I simply come over here and hit check. I hit next. And I now have a brand new phone number for this user in Boston, 6490. I've got to remember that number, 6490. So I'm going to hit done. And the order number is going to be processed, 6490. I'm going to come to unassigned extensions. So this way I can find that new number, and then I can assign it to my user. And there it is. So I'm going to assign this phone number to my user. So, and you got to make sure there's only one of them, and there is. Now we know how much this user loves recording things. My Avaya Cloud Office account has automatic call recording turned on. So if I wanted to record all of the calls to Bill's extension, I can click here. I can choose to record all of the calls that this user makes, or I can choose to record both. If I hit save, the user receives an email letting them know they've been added to the Avaya Cloud Office account for the organization. It tells them their business phone number, and it gives them a link to finish setting up their account. They specify a password, unless you're using a single sign-on source like Office 365 or G Suite. And they have to tell us a physical address. So this way, if they dial 911, we know where to send first responders. Now that you've seen how easy it is to add users and numbers in minutes, what I'd like to do next is show you how users can leverage this all-in-one app to take the work out of getting work done. Once your user has set up their account, they can download the app and they can sign in to begin using the services that are included with their subscription. So if I launch the app and I click on the phone icon, I can see a list of all of my calls. Inbound calls, outbound calls, missed calls. If I need to make a phone call, I just come up here and I click on the dial pad. Now, I may not necessarily know everyone's extension number in my company, and I don't need to. All I need to do is type all or part of someone's name. So I can type in Marcy and I can click to call her. Or I can just dial a phone number manually. And while I'm on the phone with this user, there's the call. I can make it a conference call. I could transfer this caller to another user in the organization. I can record the call on demand. So if my line is not automatically recorded and I've dialed into a conference bridge that I'd like to reference later on, I can record it to my inbox. Super easy. And I can also use that feature call flip. So if I need to move this call from my computer to another device, like say my desk phone or my cell phone, all I have to do is flip it. That's how easy it is to use your service within minutes of your account being set up. Now, unanswered calls are going to route to your one voicemail box. And you can have those messages sent to your email. But if you're like me and you get enough email as it is, you can keep them separated and manage them in this app. So if I click on all voicemail, I can see a list of all of my messages. I can say, oh, this is the one I was waiting on. Oh, it's 37 seconds long? Come on. I don't need to listen to the 37 seconds. All I need to do is click Show Transcript, and I get a speech-to-text transcription of the voicemail. And I get enough to get the gist of the call. It was Martin calling me about a problem I was having with my Mac. So then I can return Martin's call with a single click to text, a single click to call, or if Martin was on the same system, I could do a video call with him. I can also download Martin's voicemail to my computer if I need to save it. And I can also block Martin from ever calling me again. Now this block is a personal block. Martin could call another employee if I block him. But if you have an issue with a caller that's harassing multiple people in your organization, the system administrator can actually block at a system level. So that's how you manage your calls, outbound, inbound, and voicemail. You also have unlimited faxing with your phone number. So inbound faxes will show up here in your fax box. To send a fax, you just compose a cover page, attach the file that you want to send, and hit Send Now. You can also send text messages to one or many people. So if I click the plus sign, I can enter one or many phone numbers. and hit next. And now I can send a text. I don't normally talk to myself. And then when the text comes through on my cell phone, there it is. That's okay. I don't either, Steve. The person on the other end thinks they're just chatting with a cell phone. They had no idea that this message was sent with a full keyboard and a big screen from a Mac. That's how you use your Avaya Cloud Office subscription for individual communications, calling, faxing, and text messaging. Now, also bundled with your subscription is our messaging and meetings platform, and it's built into the same app. To access that, you just click on the Messages button, and now I can send messages to individual users that are in the organization, or I can invite somebody to chat with me by simply entering their email address. And I can put the message in. Now, the person on the other end will receive the message inside of their Avaya Cloud Office account, or if they're using RingCentral, that app. If the other person's not using RingCentral or Avaya Cloud Office, well, that's okay. We won't judge. Inside of an email that notifies them of a new message waiting for them, there's a link to sign up for a free messaging account. They can download the app, use it for messaging, and participate in these chats. Now, you can do more than just send messages to individual users. Sometimes you gather a team together to work on a big project, and you want to have a single place to meet and to collaborate. Well, that place is Avaya Cloud Office. Specifically, I can build a team for that group to come together. So I'm going to create a team. You give it a name, so the Justice League. You invite team members to the team, so I can invite somebody from the organization. Hey, Batman, you're on the team. And then just like before, I can invite somebody by simply typing in their email address if they're not a part of the organization. And you can put a team description. There's a whole bevy of settings here, but I'm just going to leave the defaults for the demo, and I'm going to hit create. This creates a chat room for the team to come together and to collaborate. So, hi team. So at its surface, chat. But when things become too much to type, all you have to do to make it a phone call or a video call is come up here and click. A single click will turn this into a 1,000 party audio conference call or a 200 party video call. Now, I'm not going to break the space-time continuum by starting a video call within a video call. But while we're on the call, we would be able to see 16 parties at once in high definition, and we'd be able to share our desktop or a specific app on our computer. But there's more to meetings than seeing and sharing. With Avaya Cloud Office, if somebody asks for a copy of the slide deck, instead of having to go fumble around on my hard drive to find it, upload it to Dropbox, get the share link, go to email, I just come here and I upload it into the same tool that we're using to meet in. So if I needed to share this slide deck with the team, I hit that, I hit post, and now that file lives in the same place that we're meeting and chatting. During a meeting, if somebody couldn't attend, I could record the meeting so that way they could catch up later on by watching an on-demand replay. But I can also use the tool to keep notes. So meeting minutes. I can add, notes, so attendees. Notes, we need to find Aquaman. He lives in Atlantis. Wonder Woman knows where that is. Now, before I share this to the team, maybe I want to fix some spelling errors, or maybe I want to add some formatting so I can kind of make this a little easier to read. So I can put, make that a heading, make that a heading, maybe put in a horizontal divider. Looks good. So now I'm going to share it with the team by simply hitting Post Note. And the note lives in that same tool. So when we meet again, everybody is on the same page, whether they were able to attend live or whether they caught up with an on-demand replay or just reading the meeting minutes. You can also make sure that your next meeting picks up where the last one left off by tracking the tasks that come up during meetings. So if there was a follow-up item, find Diana. We can assign it to one or multiple people on the team. So Batman, you're up. You got to find Wonder Woman. Pick a due date. We're going to meet again next week. It's got to be done by then. She knows how to find Atlantis. Hit post and close, and that task is also managed in the same tool. So the next time we meet, we review the meeting minutes from the previous meeting, we check the status of any open tasks, and then we get on to new business. That's how you leverage your account to take the work out of getting work done. So it's easy to manage and it's easy to use. What I'd like to do now is show you how our friends on the help desk can take advantage of the included analytics package to go back in time when users report bad audio or video experiences, to start investigating, and to find that needle in the haystack. When you log in, you're going to find that we measure everything. We measure adoption of features and how much they're being used, by who. So this way you can understand who's using what functionality, and you can target education opportunities to further increase productivity. We measure usage. So if you have company phone numbers that aren't getting any traffic, you can shut them off. Stop paying for what you're not using. We measure performance reports. So even if you're not running a call center, but you'd like to understand how many calls are coming into the queues at different branches and who's answering those calls, you can track all of that. And for those issues of bad audio or video performance, quality of service. So let's take a look at that. So you'll see every call that has gone through my Avaya Cloud Office account right now is measured for performance. And we're rounding up, 98% of those calls are good. But there are a few calls that are a little bit troublesome. So if you needed to investigate an issue of bad audio, you just click on calls and you start to look for that call. If this was a bad audio call, I click here and I can start investigating. I can look at the usual suspects, network performance. And in this case, I can see the upload and the download were both good. I can see this user had a 4.2 score on the upload and a 4.5 score on the download. I can see there was a little bit of packet loss, but nothing major. So I can continue investigating. I could look at the user's device. So in this case, I can see the user was using a mobile app on an iPhone XR that was running iOS 13.6.1. I can see that device was connected via Wi-Fi at the time of the call, and the carrier was Comcast. I can see device performance statistics like CPU utilization by the operating system, which was almost 44%, not horrible, and by the app. So during the call, we were only using 12% of that. I can see memory usage. So I can see the max memory usage was just over 1 gig of memory, and I can see the minimum usage during the call. So if the network was clean and this user reported a bad audio experience, we could start to look at the device and find exactly what went wrong. We can find that needle in the haystack. So this way we can make sure it doesn't happen again. But conversations are more than phone calls. What if somebody called and reported a bad video experience? You have the tools to investigate that as well. You just come up here and click on meetings, and you find the meeting that had the bad experience. You can see the users that are connected to the call, how they were connected. So in this case, I can see they were using it as audio only, and I can start to investigate. I can see that Michael was on using a mobile app on an iPhone 8 Plus running iOS 13.6.1. He joined the call using a Wi-Fi connection in Toronto, Canada. I can see his carrier was Rogers Cable, and I can see the information visualized underneath. So you have the tools to go back in time and investigate when users report bad experiences. But you also don't have to wait for the users to report these experiences. You have the ability to be proactive by creating alerts. So when I click on an alert, I can create a different alert that watches certain settings and specifics to let me know when something happens. So I'm going to create a new CEO alert. I want to know when my CEO has a bad audio call. So CEO audio alert. Severity, high. The target, I could go through a variety of different things, but in this case, just a user. I've got to promote somebody. Pavel, congratulations. You are now the CEO of Avaya. The trigger for this alert is a bad phone call greater than 1. If there's one bad call with this user, I need to know about it right away. And now I need to specify how do I want to be notified? Via email or via messaging. So if I choose messaging, I can have a chatbot that sends a message into one of those teams that I have created. That gives me the ability to react proactively instead of reactively. Instead of waiting for Pavel to call the help desk, listening to him explain what happened, and then start investigating, researching, and then suggesting issues, I know exactly what went wrong when he calls. I can explain to him the steps that we've taken to make sure it never happens again, and it creates a better outcome. The best piece of this demo is the fact that everything I've just shown you here in this analytics portal is included at no additional cost. The quality of service, the feature adoption, the performance reports are all complimentary with your subscription. And that is Avaya Cloud Office by RingCentral. It's a solution that's just easy. It's easy to manage, it's easy to use, and it's easy to troubleshoot afterwards. I want to thank you for attending today's webinar. I know you've been submitting questions as we've gone through. Please keep submitting those questions as you think of them. We're going to be answering them one by one, but we're also going to take a batch of them now and answer them live. So this question was probably far and away the most common question that came in. Can I reuse my Avaya phones with ACO? And the answer is yes, with an asterisk. So if you have Avaya J-Series desk phones, the B199 conference phone, or shortly the CU360 video conferencing device, you can absolutely reuse those devices with Avaya Cloud Office. You take the MAC address from the phone, you assign it to a user in the management interface, and then you tell the user to reset the phone to default. When it reboots, the cloud will push a software update to it, and within a matter of minutes, the phone is actually up and ready to go. It's that easy. Now, if you have older devices, like the 9600 series phones, those are not supported on Avaya Cloud Office, and we have no plans on supporting those. They've reached the end of their journey. But don't worry, we have a variety of different programs in place to keep the phone purchases from becoming a hurdle to moving to cloud. Starting with the fact we can give you free phones, we have upgrade options, so if you want a better phone, you can get a buy one, get one free promo, and you can even rent the devices if you'd rather not own them outright. So there's a whole host of options for you, whether you have existing phones that you can reuse, or if you need to replace some legacy devices with newer endpoints. Our second most popular question was Microsoft Teams. A bunch of you asked, can I explain the integration with Microsoft Teams a little bit better? Absolutely. So we fully integrate with Teams, Slack, and a host of other main applications that you're probably using today in your digital workforce. With Teams specifically, we offer 3 different types of integrations. First, we use a chatbot. So inside of one of your teams, you can launch a call or a video meeting using your Avaya Cloud Office subscription through the use of a chatbot. Second, we also have a thin client inside of your browser. So if you're using Teams inside of Chrome, or any other web page for that matter, anything that looks like a phone number will be click to call or click to textable. You can also open up a dial pad to make calls or send text messages, all inside of Chrome. You don't have to have anything installed on your computer. Now, just recently, our partners at RingCentral have announced Cloud Phone System for Teams. This is in controlled introduction right now. It's going to be generally available early next year. And what it is basically direct routing into Teams. But unlike other solutions, this is leveraging the backbone of the RingCentral network. So you're getting a highly available 5 nines reliable solution, pumping your voice into Teams. Teams becomes your unified communications client. And you can leverage our enhanced analytics package. So this way you can start to do some quality monitoring and make sure that all audio is crystal clear going into Teams. This next question came in a lot. A lot of questions about Avaya features coming to ACO. So right now, Avaya Cloud Office offers Call, Park, and Page. It was brought to the platform as a part of our summer update. Later this year, early next year, as a part of the winter update, we'll be bringing bridged appearances and the visual voicemail interface for the J-Series desk phones to Avaya Cloud Office. And then through the balance of 2021, we're going to continue bringing advanced features from our IP Office, Communication Manager, and CS1000 platforms to Avaya Cloud Office So this way you can get the disruptive benefits of a cloud-based service without the disruption in getting there. You'll have a consistent experience that's similar to what you had on-premise, enhanced with all of the great things that cloud can do. Another popular question was contact center. How do you handle contact center agents when you move to Avaya Cloud Office? Great question. And there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I'll start with the free way. So built into Avaya Cloud Office is the ability to distribute calls to a pool of agents and then to run some basic historical reports against those. This is included at no cost, so you can set up a call queue, you can have calls delivered in one of three ways, either load balancing among all of the agents, simultaneously ringing on all the agents' desk phones, or in a sequential manner. You can run historical reports in the analytics portal, so you can see how many people called these call queues, who answered the most calls, how long calls took before they were connected to agents, and a host of other data. If you need a more robust solution, you can choose Avaya OneCloud CCaaS. It's our cloud-based contact center solution of the future. It gives you the ability to handle inbound customer interactions across voice and digital channels. Your customers can communicate with you by phone, email, chat, or text messaging. And those interactions are delivered to an agent desktop that runs inside of a browser. Nothing to install on anybody's computers. And you can leverage artificial intelligence from Avaya with this solution to lower wait times in queue and to increase agent satisfaction with no upfront cost. You simply pay for what you actually use. Now, before we take this next question, I just want to again thank you for attending today's webinar and giving us so many great questions. We're trying to keep up with everything that's coming in, but keep putting through that question portal. What we can't get to live, we will definitely follow up with you after the webinar to make sure you get answers to your questions. So with Avaya Cloud Office, we are available in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. So if you have headquartered locations in those sites, we can sell you the service there. If you have branch sites that aren't in these countries, however, we can tap into RingCentral's global network through a feature called Global Office to give you international numbers and support for your international sites. We just need to be able to have a bill go to a headquarters or to a main facility in one of the supported countries. How do I integrate Avaya Cloud Office with my on-premise system? Now, some of you were asking about integrating during a transition. While you're moving users from on-premise to cloud, some of you were asking for a permanent solution. Here's what we can do. So with the use of dial plan manipulation, we can facilitate extension-to-extension calling between the cloud users and the non-cloud users. On the cloud side, we program what are called virtual extensions. So these are extension numbers for people who are staying on-premise. When a cloud user calls an on-premise user via their extension, the cloud will automatically prefix the extension and use the far end's DID number to connect the call. On the on-premise side, you can use either shortcodes on an IP office or you can use UDP manipulation on the Communication Manager platform to do the same in reverse. So when an on-premise user is talking to a cloud user, they dial the extension number and the system will automatically use the DID number to connect the call to the cloud. Avaya Cloud Office includes carrier services. So every user has unlimited calling and their own direct phone number. This means you don't need the phone company anymore. But if you want to reuse your existing numbers, you absolutely can. RingCentral is a carrier, and our client success team will help you with porting your numbers to the cloud because you need to make sure every I is dotted and T is crossed to make sure that number port goes smooth. These guys live to make go lives as smooth as possible. So leverage their experience to help transition your numbers into the cloud. As we approach the top of the hour, I'd like to once again thank my friends at CTI for inviting me to join today's webinar. And I'd like to thank you for coming to learn about Avaya Cloud Office and all of the great questions you submitted. Now, I'd like to hand it over to my friend Michael at CTI for some closing remarks.
Thank you, Steve. And that concludes our webinar today. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their busy schedules to join us. And if you have any questions that were not addressed during our Q&A section, please feel free to reach out to me at mlatshaw@consultech.com, and I'll be sure to get some answers for you. So thanks again to Steve and the team at Avaya, as well as our partners at RingCentral. And I hope the rest of your day is a safe and happy one. Take care, everyone.
With your communications hosted in the cloud, your people can be working anywhere and get the tools they need to handle any kind of communication. But the same is also true for your business as a whole. For starters, with Avaya Cloud Office, you now have an Auto Attendant to handle calls 24/7. No more losing business because it's after hours.
Hello, you've reached KR Industries. Our offices are closed.
You can give your callers the option to route themselves to the right department.
Press 1 for sales, 2 for service, 3 if you
Or
need
use an employee directory to easily get to a specific person.
To reach one of our associates, simply spell the last name of the person you're trying to reach.
You can play music or messages on hold and update them anytime. And customize your call routing just the way you want. Calls to the sales department might ring each sales rep one by one. Service calls might ring all phones simultaneously. You decide. Set up call recording so you can confirm the details of that latest order. Listen in on sales calls and have supervisors provide advice using the whisper feature. And you can make any programming changes you need to make from virtually any location. Your people get the tools they need, and so does your business. Want to learn more? Talk to Avaya. Let us show you what Avaya Cloud Office can do for you.